Nine Toes Brewing Company is a Gulf Coast destination for craft beer, great food, and interactive entertainment. Enjoy a rotating selection of small batch brews, a menu of comfort food favorites, and state-of-the-art golf simulators featuring world-famous courses.
If you are thinking about selling on your own, maybe ask Steph. If you would like to talk to Stephanie to help determine your next steps, call today at 228-563-0471 or call her at the office and ask for Steph at 228-452-4242.
Welcome to the Mudcat Report. Community news, politics, and culture with a local twist. Here's your host, owner and publisher of the Gazebo Gazette, Hunter Dawkins.
I'm the host of the Mudcat Report. This is the 33rd episode of Mississippi Gulf Coast Community News Podcast. Our theme for the day is state and county issues. I'm here with the wonderful producer of the show, Jeff Clark. Jeff is a well-accomplished, award-winning journalist and the director of the Harrison County Senior Services. As well, Jeff is my good friend, and I'm hoping he's doing all right. How are you, my friend?
I'm well, Hunter. I'm just had my budget hearing today. You talk about county issues. I had to present my budget for FY27 today to the Harrison County Board of Supervisors, and that's always a tough task. A lot of questions, a lot of stuff. So, but I feel like it went well, and we'll see what happens in October. So,
absolutely, and not only do we have you discussing that, we have a wonderful show today discussing not only county but state issues with the state senator from the county too as well, regarding what's going to happen in the upcoming legislative session in 2027 and with the county library system too as well.
Right on. Yeah, the county library, same thing. We'll have to go and present a budget and do all of that. In county government, as you know, but I'm saying this for the audience, the budget year runs from October 1 until September 30th. It's different in cities, different things like that, but it's called the fiscal year. So it runs October 1 to September 30th. So we're, down to had to turn our budgets in a couple of months ago. Now we're in the negotiation stage, so to speak. So
Sure. Well, just to let the audience know, and we won't talk about this also, the school district has a different budget year.
Right. Exactly. That's what I was thinking. They're on a different budget year.
Yeah,
than we are.
They start July 1st until June 30th, but I'm not 100% sure if those are the exact dates, but I think that's somewhere it falls in line with that. So
awesome. Well, I'm anxious to hear what Senator Thompson has to say and learn some more about our great library system from our second guest here in Harrison County. I'm especially proud of the library we have here in Pass Christian, and Wendy does a great job with it. It's a great library. So,
well, and they're a part of the Harrison County library system too.
Absolutely, 100%. So
we look forward to the guest.
Who's sponsoring us today?
Oh yeah, that's right. I almost already forgot about that.
Got to pay the bills.
I know, exactly. This episode is sponsored by the Gazebo Gazette, Harrison County's independent newspaper, the Beau Rivage Resort and Casino in Biloxi, Nine Toes Brewing Company in Pass Christian, O'Dwyer Realty Agent Stephanie Megwitz, Joseph Kelly, attorney at law, Coast Casual in Pass Christian, the Insurance Barn in Gulfport, Hook 'em for Heroes block party on Saturday, September the 12th, right here at Nine Toes Brewing Company, the Pass Christian Ice Cream Palace, or I should say the Pass Ice Cream Palace, and we're also in the U.S. Marine Inc. studio. We look forward to our upcoming guests.
And we'll be right back.
I would love to introduce my first guest, State Senator from District 48, Mike Thompson. Senator Thompson is the chair of the AET committee, which stands for Accountability, Efficiency, and Transparency, Am I correct, Mr. Chair?
That's correct. That's correct.
Good deal. Good deal. I always been wanting to wonder if I could get all those words fit into the right sentence together. But anyway, Senator, what is the hot button issue in the upcoming, for the start at least, of the 2027 session?
Well, thank you for having me on. Right now, the I think the biggest thing that we're working on is redistricting. That's looking at the legislative and judicial districts as well as congressional districts in the state of Mississippi. There was a Supreme Court decision that came out earlier this year. It's referred to as the Calais decision, and it's a 95-page opinion that the court had a lot to say. But one of the things that came out of Calais, specific to us and to our districts, is that districts cannot be drawn based solely on race under Section 2 of the Voters' Rights Act. And so there was a pending decision in Mississippi. There was a pending case in Mississippi, rather, that was dealing with our legislative districts that were redrawn in 2022. And uh, hard to say procedurally exactly where we are as far as that case goes. There was a second map that was drawn where a couple of Senate districts and House districts, particularly around the Hattiesburg area and DeSoto County area, had to rerun in 2025. And so post Calais, the order creating that map has been vacated by the Supreme Court. And so we're having to take a look at that and see if we need to do anything at all. And if we do, what is that going to look like?
Well, that's a great segue, Senator. There have been numerous select committees chosen by the lieutenant governor, that are outside of the normal session. And you yourself were appointed to the select redistricting committee. I'm not going to ask you about this, that, or the other, but just tell me if there are going to be, if you believe that it's done after that, or does the lieutenant governor have more coming on the way?
Well, so we've just created the committee. I think we sat 2 weeks ago, went up to Jackson and had our organizational meeting where we actually put the committee together, elected officers. And we've also adopted a schedule for hearings throughout the state, starting up in Tupelo tomorrow, and I think we have 8 stops that we'll do over the next couple months, where we'll be holding hearings throughout the state, just mainly to listen to people's concerns about redistricting and what that may look like for them in their respective districts. The one
Do
in
you have any idea about when it's going to be on the coast?
Yes, so let me double check to make sure. I believe it's September 22nd. I should have been more prepared for this, huh, Hunter? It's September 22nd. That's a Tuesday. It's at 6 o'clock at the Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College.
Nice.
Um, so there'll be an opportunity, and I'll make sure to put it on on Facebook. There's an opportunity for people to submit questions for the committee beforehand. So and the public's of course invited and welcome. So yeah, I'll make sure you get that information.
Well, thank you, Senator. Since it is in the upcoming session will be election season, do you care to announce or address any election news, or do you believe this session is going to become a lot faster too because of being election season?
It's gonna be different. I've never served in the legislature during a split, like where you get done with 2 4-year terms for the governor, lieutenant governor. So it's going to be a little bit different experience for me. There's still there's plenty of momentum on things that we've been working on. Uh, I've been working on some public procurement stuff going into this through last session, going into this session. So I think that kind of stuff will keep ahead of steam. Um, I'm not sure yet, what the hot button topic's going to be. It's funny. You always go into the legislative session, you get to the end of the year, and there are things in the news, there are things on social media that you think, oh, that's going to dominate the session, right? That's things we're going to work on. And then there's always something that comes up during the session that you didn't anticipate that you've got to get up to speed on pretty quick.
Do you care to announce you run for reelection? I mean, is it too early
Oh
for
yeah,
you? Okay.
I'm staying. I'm staying. I'm running. I'm running for Senate District 48. That's where I think I can do the most good. I don't have a I don't have a very big political appetite for much more than that.
There you go. There you go. Thank you. What is one issue that you want to personally address during the legislative session? Either an issue that you've tackled or you've attempted to tackle before, or something that you have really high aspirations to take care of.
Well, like I said, one of the things I've been looking at is public procurement, public bid laws. Um, there's there's 37 exceptions to the state public bid law. It kind of tells you that there's some issues there when you've got 37 different exceptions and exemptions under the law. Um, there's been I've heard from people both at state agencies, but also at local government, at the county level and municipal level, about maybe it's time to take a look at what the minimums are, the $5,000 and $75,000 minimums, to see if maybe those should be upped to give our locals a little more uh, ability to maneuver and to do the things they need to do and make the purchases they need to make for things as they come up. Um, municipal budgets and county budgets throughout the state look very different. I've got counties that that are well off, but I've also got counties, or we have counties that aren't so well off. And so one of the things that came up at the supervisors meeting earlier this summer was this idea about group purchasing, where counties get together and and kind of create some buying power. If they're going to buy, if each county's buying one dump truck, they may be better get a better price if they buy three dump trucks. Kind of, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, so that's something that I've been working on this summer, that we've been working on, and we'll be looking at going into the session.
Well, in that segue, what is one concern that you feel needs to be addressed for Harrison County?
Uh, it's for Harrison County specifically, nothing yet. I've not yet had my meeting with Harrison County. Um, but I think that for the counties, particularly a county like Harrison, which I would call as a have county, right? We're
Yeah,
250 something thousand people.
sure.
Um, big county has means, but also has needs, right? Um, they certainly would benefit from having some more freedom and an ability to kind of maneuver and to make purchases as things come up, particularly on the maintenance side of things, right? You can't budget for unexpected events uh, and damages that they may need to address. So, yeah, I think that there's a you know there's a need on a larger scale to look at public procurement in Mississippi.
Well, Senator, we gratefully appreciate you reaching out with us and being in touch with us. Tell everybody how they can contact you.
Absolutely. You can always call my office here on the coast, 228-265-5010. Or you can reach out by email, mthompson@senate.ms.gov.
Well, thank you, Senator. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Hunter. Thank you, Jeff.
Looking for effortless style on the coast? Discover Coast Casual in the Pass, your locally owned men's and boys' boutique. Coast Casual offers a mix of coastal and southern-inspired clothing, accessories, and gifts.
The Gazebo Gazette is Harrison County's only independent newspaper, publishing news from Gulfport to Bay St. Louis every Friday. Hi, this is Hunter Dawkins, owner of the Gazebo Gazette. If you're looking for local news without the hassle of sorting through story after digital story, log on to thegazebogazette.com.
Mark your calendars for Saturday, September 12th, and head to Nine Toes Brewing Company in Pass Christian for the Hook 'em for Heroes block party. It's a free event from 1 to 10 p.m. featuring live performances by J.J. Gray and Mofro, Mark Broussard, Cedric Burnside, Honey Island Swamp Band, and more. Best of all, the event supports local veterans and first responders, so come enjoy great music while giving back to those who have served our communities.
Would love to introduce my final guest, Harrison County Library System Director, Sarah Ruskey. Did I say that correctly, Miss Ruskey?
You sure did.
Thank you, thank you. Sarah, how many libraries exist in Harrison County currently?
Okay, so there are, in the Harrison County Library System, there are 9 physical branches, and we also have a mobile outreach vehicle. And there is also the Long Beach Public Library that is a city department of Long Beach.
Now, speaking of a little segue on that, I thought that I heard, now, of course, I don't know anything definitely, but I thought I heard that there was some conversion from Long Beach that they were getting prepared to join the Harrison County system. If that's happened yet, you can let me know. If not,
Has not happened yet. We are trying to work on the details, and there are a lot of moving parts, including funding. And this is budget season, you probably know, for the cities and the county and us. And so we're in the middle of our process, and we're hoping that that will happen. We would like to have the Harrison County Library System encompass all of the libraries in Harrison County, but we haven't completed that process yet.
is there any threat of closure for any of the Harrison County libraries right now?
I hope not. We are, like I mentioned, we are in the midst of our budget process, and we haven't. We're not sure where we are with our different funders. And if you're following the budget news in Biloxi, you've probably seen that a lot of departments are taking cuts, and they are proposing raising the millage. And we have our first budget hearing with them, because we're part of what they call non-departmental units of their budget. And so we're doing our first hearing tomorrow, and we don't know where we are on the cut spectrum, and that makes a big difference on whether there's any threat or not. So we should know more tomorrow, but at the current time, we hope not, but we'll see going forward.
Is there any record keeper in, is it more than just one in one library, or is there just one library that is a record keeper? Like, I guess the digital record keeper would be that would be what I'm asking.
I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure what you mean by a record keeper. Like,
You know, yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's what I mean. Sorry.
you have a local history department, and that's housed in our main downtown Biloxi library. And
Okay.
I mean, those collections are physical. They're photos, documents, negatives, but they are doing a lot of extensive work trying to digitize collections. Like we've gotten some grants recently. One of the America 250 grants was to do some digitization work, and we seek out those opportunities whenever we can, because we have a lot of stuff and it's unique, and that helps protect it, and it also makes it more accessible. Like if you have things digitized, they're more searchable, and you can access it from your home, and you don't have to go into the library unless you want to, because that's fun too. But yeah, we have a location that specializes in that.
How difficult was that? I'm guessing, I'm not sure how long you've been with the Harrison County system, but how difficult was that when you came aboard, seeing if there was any retake of documents after Hurricane Katrina?
I didn't come on board till a good time after that. This is my 8th year. So a lot of the process of dealing with trying to preserve or to keep them from deteriorating, those things, that was kind of completed before my time. But I do know that a lot of our libraries themselves were damaged, and just documents that are in the community got destroyed, so they didn't get preserved in the first place, and donated to us. So that's one reason why we want to work to have multiple formats, so we can have records even if we have a disaster.
Sure, sure. What is the biggest threat to the county library system? Is it just funding, or is there something else that could be potential problems?
I would say that's probably our biggest concern all of the time, because since we aren't a department, we're kind of sometimes seen as something taking away resources from things that are departments. And so we are always trying to get sufficient funds to do our work. And that's always on the top of our list of worries. And we've done pretty well. We get a lot of support from our patrons, and they usually they like to let people know that please support our libraries. And but yeah, it's always a concern, especially when there are money problems, downturns, things like COVID. You have to keep that in mind, like how's the funding going, and seek out outside opportunities, which we do as much as we can. But most of those don't cover like operational costs. They cover special projects, things like that, like our mobile outreach. That was a grant project.
Great. A final question for you. Do any of the city libraries associated with the Harrison County system have separate fundraisers? Like I know that Pass Christian has the Friends of the Library. I'm not really sure that still exists, but are there any other cities with fundraising groups like that?
Yeah, so the Friends are a great help to us because they are a nonprofit that exists to help us do things that we don't necessarily have in our budget. And yes, the Pass group is one of them. Biloxi, Gulfport, the Saussure branch, and D'Iberville, they all have friends who and Long Beach does too, have friends groups that do fundraisers, or a lot of one of the major ones is book sales that occur in the libraries that help support summer reading, or they bought computers for us before, sometimes furniture, different things like that may be a little bit beyond what we have budgeted. So yeah, we get a lot of good support from our friends groups.
Well, we thank you very much, Ms. Sarah, and we gratefully appreciate you being on with us, and we look forward to having you on again.
All right. Thanks a lot. Good to talk to you.
Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Looking for trusted legal guidance on the Mississippi Gulf Coast? Joseph Kelly, attorney at law, has been serving the coast since 1993, helping families protect what matters most. From estate planning to securing your legacy, Joseph Kelly provides experienced, personalized legal services designed around your unique needs.
United States Marine Inc. knows what it means to show up strong. Your grit and teamwork inspire us every day. At USMI, we cherish our family, and our family includes community and you. USMI builds the baddest boats with pride and coastal toughness.
Looking for insurance coverage you can count on? Call the Insurance Barn, a professional agency since 1959. The Insurance Barn writes all-in-one policies and offers coverage for homeowners, fire, flood, commercial property, auto, boats, motorcycles, plus wind and hail protection.
We gratefully appreciate you listening to this podcast, and we thank you again, Jeff. We want to thank all of the people that were listening, the audience. Tell me what your thoughts are so far.
Oh, it was a great, again, they're always great episodes, great guest. Ms. Ruskey was great. It was interesting hearing about the library from that perspective. Senator Thompson's always a great guest, a reoccurring guest. So good show. Always.
Good deal. We want to thank all of our sponsors, including the Beau Rivage Resort and Casino in Biloxi, Nine Toes Brewing Company in Pass Christian, O'Dwyer Realty Agent Stephanie Mankiewicz, Joseph Kelly, attorney at law, Coast Casual in Pass Christian, the Insurance Barn in Gulfport, Hook 'em for Heroes Block Party on Saturday, September the 12th, Pass Ice Cream Palace, and the U.S. Marine Inc. Make sure you follow us and subscribe to us on YouTube under the Gazebo Gazette Productions. As you know, they'll have both of our podcasts listed on there, from what I understand. Or follow us on the gazebogazette.com, where the podcast will be posted later on this week, as well as on facebook.com/The Real Gazebo Gazette, or on X at Gazebo Gazette as the handle. The Mudcat Report is available on all podcasts. as Jeff says, including Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music under the Mudcat Report tag. Signing out, this is Hunter Dawkins, the host of the Mudcat Report, and now you know the rest of the local news story. Good night.